everyone, it's me, Steph the Alternate, your nerdy alternative on Movie World Plus, and guess who I've got live from Vegas? Woo!
What's up?
Andy and Jody Joe in the house!
Got my hangover shirt. Yeah, we're outside the Coliseum. They just gave us the Disney presentation. Now, Jody and I didn't sit together. It was kind of crowded, so I don't know what Jody thought. He doesn't know what I thought. We're going to have a fun reaction together as we reveal Disney. Now, we were going in with very low expectations. Is that safe to say?
That's safe to say.
And
very low.
And the biggest frustration we get, so you know we're a little jaded, they have Guardians ready. They clearly have Little Mermaid further along. They have this Elemental. They chose to screen the Boogeyman, which is what we all just left.
Playing right now.
The whole crowd left.
Everybody left.
Everybody left. It was the weirdest choice of movie to play. Super bad move. Whoever made that call at Disney, really dumb move. And then they not only screened it early, but they're like, you can't talk about it till June. So you have no faith in it. Why are you showing it to us? It was a weird move, knowing that Guardians is coming out next week. We were all hoping to see Guardians. Now, they showed us a clip of Guardians, a little extra.
Cool.
I'm in. It was a really emotional, but funny scene like he does.
Yeah.
And I've heard a little bit more like Rocket. It's an origin of Rocket and his animal friends from the testing facility. I have a sneaking suspicion I'm going to bawl like a baby, and that's going to be a real good mic drop for James Gunn. I wish we could have seen that. We didn't. They showed us the extended trailer, which is fine. They showed us the Marvel's trailer, which we've already seen. I know Jody hates it. I didn't hate it as much. It looks more fun than Captain Marvel, as I'll admit.
But that's not because of her. That's because they added.
No, but I'm saying, thank God they added other people because I could not watch the movie by Marvel. That's why I'm saying I think it looks better.
So it does look a little more fun.
Yeah. And the trailer, it's a good trailer, but I'm not like it's not something I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
And then they showed us that part of the Marvel, and then they went into live action and they did
Wish.
All right,
about Wish.
So they did Wish, and I liked Wish. I'm going to be honest about Wish. It was an original, like princess story. They gave us the song Ariana DeBose from West Side Story voices, and we got to see the first song.
I'm on the other side of that.
You didn't like it?
Yeah. She's black, right?
She's colored.
She's colored.
I don't know. I don't know anymore. Does it matter?
So for me, it does. It does because I'm tired of seeing the colored ones, especially when they look black. She had braids.
She's Latin. She's West Side Story.
I'm talking about the character. It's from.
Unclear where she's from. It's like an Italian or I think it's like a Mediterranean
or something like that. But anyway, the animation they chose to not do that live action. Give it that high top tier Frozen. You know what I'm saying? Toy Story type of Pixar treatment. They gave it that 2D looking look. The same thing they did to Tiana with Princess and the Frog. If you're gonna show a Disney film that's animated, right, and we already know what the top level tier is, the 2D stuff is not gonna be taken as seriously as the full-fledged like Frozen effect. And I mean, it's early.
It's not till November.
That's the look. That's the look they're going for.
I didn't mind. It was dark.
Boots look.
It looked. Yeah, I guess there was. It was a little Puss in Boots, which I didn't mind. You just don't like cartoons. You've admitted to me.
No, it's not that. It's not that. No, when it comes to Disney, I love all that shit. But if you're gonna make another princess or another story about somebody of color, give it that full.
They made it sound like this is going to push the boundaries of animation. So maybe they're doing like sort of like look. So, but to be fair, it didn't.
Nothing beats 3D Pixar looking stuff, bro.
I like the original. It didn't bother me. Jody bothered.
The song wasn't great.
I liked the song. I thought it looked cute. I liked that they're doing something different. It wasn't an IP. They're actually doing another new original. And I liked Encanto. I liked Frozen. I liked Moana.
Give it the Encanto treatment. Why couldn't it be like Encanto?
Yeah, or Moana. I mean,
Moana.
It felt like it to me.
It's 2D.
No, it wasn't 2D. It was like a 3D 2D.
It looks drawn.
It's 100 years of animation, and I'm going to fight Jody that later.
They're not giving it.
He's hung up on a weird semantic. The film itself was
you guys,
fine.
Everybody knows what I'm talking about. The people that have a problem with Princess and the Frog know exactly what I'm talking about.
It was way better animation.
Sorry, Andy, just to interject.
100%.
Andy, just to interject. It's 3D, 2D.
Yeah.
Sorry, explain yourself. What?
Like Spider-Verse or Puss in Boots is the best example where it's not, you can see 3 dimensions. It's like, because it's all 2D, let's be honest. We're not staring into it. We're all watching a screen. But it's not flat like OG Jungle Book or Lion King.
Okay.
It's Pixar versus, Hercules is what we're talking about. I didn't get Princess and the Frog vibes from it. I got a little bit more dimension to it. But anyway, they showed us Elemental. I'm coming over here. They showed us that was the Wish problem, which I didn't like. I didn't mind. Jody didn't like. I didn't mind it. Sorry, I'm going over so you can see Elemental. They showed us 20 minutes of Elemental, which is right behind us. And I'll be honest, I was really dreading this movie. When I saw the trailers, it looked really weird. I was like, I like original Pixar's have been pretty weak as of late, in my opinion. But we saw the first 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
And I got to say, it was more intriguing than I thought. It's like an immigration story of like fire moves into a new town, doesn't like the water. And like you said, it's like it could be interesting, and the animation was pretty beautiful. Like there were some clever ideas. So I would say I was more intrigued since they showed me more of what the movie's actually about, and it's definitely probably could have some really good themes and love story, but also like just bringing culture together. God knows we could use that in the world, but you know, I didn't hate it. Did you like Elemental?
It was okay. They remind me of Fire. Reminds me of like Romanian immigrants who open up shop, you know. And they're very cold. They're very different than the like America, which is like the place that they're going to is like a version of America. And their family values and traditions and stuff probably don't align along with it. I like what they did with it, but it doesn't feel like a Disney movie. It doesn't really feel like that magical.
It felt like Zootopia. Did you like Zootopia?
It had some Zootopia swag to it, but just it didn't delve into it a lot.
Yeah,
I think Zootopia is probably gonna do it better.
Yeah, it has a Zootopia vibe for sure, and then it's trying to be like Inside Out, but it's not gonna be as good as Inside Out. But well, no, who knows? But I will say I was pleasantly surprised.
I don't see the movie being that great. Like I see it being like people like, oh, it's good, you know what I'm saying? But I don't see it being groundbreaking. Like the teaser where it showed her on the train and all that, you see all the different elements. That was more intriguing than what we actually got from this 20 minutes.
Yeah, the premise is like exactly Fire is coming to town, sets up shop, a dad owns the shop, and then she's trying to get the shop. The Fire is obviously not all the elements can deal, and they're temper, but also they set things on fire, so people get frustrated. So they've sort of separated themselves from the other elements, and then she is forced to go into the big city and go after a water, and that's, you can tell the opposite. Will they attract? Will they learn to work together? It could be cute.
Water are the 100% white people of the country. Water are the white people. Fire are the immigrants.
Yeah. Some people might get. Well, I'm intrigued to see how they handle it. So that was the Pixar portion, and then they did Foxlight or whatever it is. They showed Taika Waititi's latest Next Goal Wins, starring Michael Fassbender. It's a live action. He's like some alcoholic soccer coach who goes to Australia to help the losingest team ever. I mean,
that's up his alley. Go ahead and do that.
Yes,
that's up your alley, but not groundbreaking.
Not like excited, but I'm like, he should be doing these instead of Thor movies.
Yes, and Star Wars movies.
Yes.
Anything big budget, fall back on stuff like this. We can be crazy and funny. Yeah,
he works.
It wasn't that funny though. It was alright.
Yeah, I mean, there was one line when they're like they can't get a goal, and then that ball hit the four people in the face. It was a couple. It was okay.
This is something that you're not gonna go watch opening weekend unless you're a Taika fan.
Yeah, and it'll be indie. But the promo is funny. It's like from the loser of the Academy Award for Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah.
From the loser of the Teen Choice Award for Thor Ragnarok comes the losingest team ever. So anyway, it was total Taika. And then we saw before I get to Indiana Jones, we'll save that for the end. There was a
talking about creator.
Yeah, so that's 20th Century Fox. I mean, the show started with Disney doing a whole Avatar blowjob, which they should. It made the most money. And they did a big Dolby, sponsored Dolby thing, which is actually really well done. All the filmmakers came out. Tom Cruise, James Cameron, Coogler, they were all there, like hyping up Dolby. And it's true, like Dolby makes you feel the movies and why cinema works. And so everybody was there to like pump up Dolby, who's a sponsor of CinemaCon. So shout out to Dolby. Dolby Vision, Dolby Sound. But I would say the highlight for me was surprisingly, Little Mermaid. We're gonna get there. But before I do that, the highlight for me was a first look at a movie called The Creator, which is by Gareth Edwards.
John David Washington starring.
Gareth Edwards, who did Rogue One.
Yeah. John David Washington. Nice dystopian futuristic story. Alita Battle Angel.
Yeah, it's like basically a world. You start with John David Washington and a kid, and the kid's like, they don't like. Why don't we get to go to heaven? They don't like you, and I'm not allowed. And then we reveal she's an android. You wouldn't have guessed it, and he's sort of trying to protect her. And then they open up, and you see this vast cinematic look.
It seemed okay. Pretty good.
It looked like a cool. I'm like, all right, I'm intrigued. What is this one? Exactly, I hadn't heard of it. Looked like visionary. Looked like
give it a shot.
Topical, like artificial intelligence. What makes a human? Like, I was like, all right, cool. Bring this one on. I want to check this out.
So it reminds me of Elysium a little bit too.
Yeah, but better because that was not. But yes, those types of vibes and big scale. So I got to say that was probably the best surprise for me. Of like, all right, cool, Disney, bringing something else new. And then they showed us A Haunting in Venice, which is like a horror movie, but it's
Huge L.
It's the Kenneth Branagh franchise with him as the detective
a big mistake.
or whatever. And
Big
it was weird because it's like they're trying to make a horror movie,
ruining it.
and then Kenneth Branagh shows up with his weird like, I'm going to solve the crime, and you're like, what?
It's two different movies. Like, why did you blend that with this movie? We want the mystery. We want a whodunit.
I don't want a mystery with
now
scares.
Mystical demon mystery.
Huge
what
L.
The freak is this
Huge
shit?
L. A bigger L than Army Hammer having to just tank the other one. I don't know.
Yes. Yes.
I think it is.
I'm not gonna watch that movie.
No
I
interest.
want to see the murder mystery of it all.
Yes.
And this movie
I want to see Knives Out. I don't want to see
Yes.
Knives Out with. Imagine Knives Out in the Conjuring verse. You're like, it's just weird.
You don't know if it's real or if it's mystical or not. If it's supernatural or not.
It totally missed bad
Whose
genres
idea?
connected.
Whose
Really bad
idea?
idea. Really bad idea. So then I think we caught everything. Little Mermaid. So they brought out Melissa
right.
McCarthy stepped out,
She came out.
and we saw the full sequence for Poor Unfortunate Souls. The full thing. Here's what let me give a positive. I guess this is a positive. She sounded like fucking Ursula. Like she was doing an absolute copycat.
Her voice.
The voice.
The speaking voice.
The facial, not the same. I didn't see Ursula like, because the drawn is like she's so like amazingly evil in the face.
You know, it's the same thing too.
And Melissa McCarthy was so flat.
She wasn't facially giving it there.
She didn't give the facial.
I knew it wasn't just me.
No, it was absolutely a bummer. She looked like from afar when it's still, it looks it. And I'm telling you, the voice is uncanny.
She did it. She did a good job.
But I'm kind of like
the speaking voice. The singing voice didn't match up
it
with the
was
way she was
okay
acting with her face.
But you're 100% on the same wavelength.
Throaty, but her
And you
mouth is
don't
just
see
doing
it.
it. Like
Flat.
she's talking it.
Is
The
it
emotion.
Botox? I don't know.
I don't know what the freaking shit it was, but you can tell she sung that in the studio.
Yes.
But when she's acting it on camera, it
Did
not have the same energy.
It's the same problem with all these animated live actions, like the
It's
Lion
like
King.
the
You
emoting.
You
She's not
can't have
emoting.
Exactly. It's so weird.
Oh god.
It feels like Lion King live action, but it's a human. You'd think she could emote, and she couldn't emote.
I thought I was alone with that shit.
No.
Bro.
I will say,
It's
like,
a disconnect.
Halle Bailey. She wasn't bad. Like, we didn't get to see a ton.
she wasn't bad.
She played like the innocent Ariel. Like, Ariel's a pretty weak character if we're really being honest about it. And she did okay. And she had her voice. They showed
the
us
animation of it all. You know, poor unfortunate.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff supposed to be happening, and not enough of it was happening when she was really going off. There was an explosion here and an explosion there, but it should have been more like festive and fiesta, like mind-blowing, and seeing the visuals pop everywhere and making it feel bigger than it was. It felt smaller. The animated movie from '89 was a much better job.
Well, it felt fake.
It was
like
hard,
weird,
so it just wasn't there. It didn't do it for me.
It was weird, like the weird UV lights on her tentacles. Like, I feel like I'm in some weird like Spencer gift shop. Like, it's just like I don't know. It was they're trying.
They slimmed her down. That wasn't her body. That was not her body. They did all that. They gave her a CG body and they made her a lot smaller. You know what I'm saying?
It's weird. I will say though, if you want to see, if you want her to sound like Ursula, she does.
Sounds like Ursula.
There were a couple ad libs she did at the end where it's like, I'm giving my premium. Like it wasn't awful.
It wasn't
for what it is, surprisingly, but it also like was. I would have rather them like, I don't know. That's the problem with these remakes. Do you want them to be exactly the same?
Yes.
In which case, or do you want them to try to make it their own, like Will Smith a little bit with his genie? Because you can't be Robert Williams.
Because he can't sing. And he's not as festive as Robert Williams.
That's my point. You want to try to? I feel like you could. Well, yeah. All I know is they could have just gone full drag queen on this and done a total. And I will say they didn't go that way.
It's her facial
she delivered.
Her acting.
She couldn't emote.
It wasn't hidden. She was not matching the energy of the song that she sung herself.
The facial of animated Ursula is so iconic. Like with
the big eyes and shit. And my child.
And the whole time she's like.
Just talking. Just a
it looks like this. Maybe Botox or something that she could move her. I don't know. It's weird. I've seen her emote before, and she didn't do it. So that was the big takeaway. It was surprising.
It was a letdown. Poor Unfortunate for me, letdown.
They changed a couple lyrics where it's like, you'll have your pretty face. Who needs a more voice? Like that part's gone. And it was okay. The way they did it felt like justified. But there was a part there where I heard they were going to do, and they did. I don't know if you noticed.
I noticed about the...
You don't have your pretty face in your voice.
No.
They cut that part out.
Yeah.
And your body language, like, that's all gone. Like,
it wasn't that sexy.
They took away, like, the whole, like, use your body, like, all that stuff's gone.
Yeah, it was gone.
But I didn't really...
It was a difference that they made with the whole contract.
It was okay. Yes. Yes.
That's a little jarring for me. You know what I'm saying? That's a little extra. You know what I'm saying? The way that Ariel makes the exchange with Ursula in this live action movie is completely different than the way they make the exchange in the original. And I don't want to give anything away, but
yeah. So, I mean, I was never looking forward to this, so no one's gonna be surprised that I was not that impressed. I'll say I was slightly more like, okay, she delivered better than I thought she would. I'll give her that. I'll be slightly on. So then I guess that's everything except for the finale of Indiana Jones. Did I miss anything? That's it. And then we went to Indiana Jones. So we saw Dial of Destiny action sequence, him and Phoebe Waller-Bridge. And I would say, like, the action was good. It was a really, like, visceral. It felt practical. It didn't look like CGI monkeys.
Editing was good.
Like violence, like dude gets plowed in the like thing, and the score was there. Dun 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 dun. Like it was the Indiana Jones I want, with from a mangled direction where you hope that Ford versus Ferrari like.
And they were in cars.
They
were in automobiles.
They were in cars. So we were watching like a James Mangold action car chase. That didn't feel CGI. It felt good. I couldn't really, for no offense to Dolby, I think it's just that theater. I couldn't really hear what she was saying, but it's like, you know, as the trailer is shown, she's clearly the daughter of his old partner, and they're sort of trying to go get this MacGuffin. The Dial of Destiny is what it is, but that's a lot of these anyway. I was surprised. I was hoping we would get something a little more. But
it was just an action sequence.
It was a good action sequence.
It's very good to make an action sequence in Indiana. There's nothing wrong with any of the action sequences in any of the Indiana Jones movies.
Except for Flying with Monkeys.
The problem is when Indiana is running around doing his thing, what's that gonna look like? Because he was in a car, they were chasing around. Anybody can make that look.
There was a cool shot where he falls out and jumps in the other car, and then I didn't feel like they stunt doubled it. Like the effects were solid enough.
It felt good. It was edited.
It felt real and practical, and like he did it. So good on them, because
the biggest thing is the story. Is the story gonna make sense? That's the thing. The action sequence. If this was safe, it was safe showing this scene. Yes, it's competently made. It's beautifully done. But yeah, it's at the end of the day, it's gonna be about the story. What's that story about?
Yeah, so I mean, the action was good.
I give it a thumbs up.
It got me intrigued. I'm holding out hope for that movie still. I hope they learned, and I think they have enough ingredients there. And I like Phoebe Waller-Bridge. I love Fleabag on Amazon. She's a really funny.
Who's Phoebe Waller-Bridge?
The girl.
Is that the girl that
she does it. She wrote and directed and created the show called Fleabag on Amazon, and it's really fucking funny. And she's a kind of just crazy bitch on the show. And I think she's a really strong voice. And she was also the voice in Solo. She was the ship, which not everyone loved. But some people love her, hate her. I'm a fan of her, so I'm hoping she's bringing that same energy.
One of those characters that piss people off.
So I'm ready and I'm prepared, but some might not be, because they're gonna say, "Oh, look, she's trying to become Indiana," but she's just a hard ass. And you know, I didn't mind her.
She asserts herself in the action sequence. She does her own thing.
Indiana
has to chase her, because she doesn't need to be. She's gonna do it no matter if Indiana's there or not. So she's definitely one of the capable women, and you know Kathleen Kennedy is definitely going to look out to make sure we have some capable women. Hopefully not at the expense of Indiana Jones.
Which I didn't feel like in that sequence. I felt like they were all holding their own. Did you feel like she was bossing it?
She bossed it. She bossed it. She's going to be in this movie bossing.
She's bossing it, but I hope, and since the film isn't going to let it end that way. Hopefully like she's being the cocky girl boss, but I'm hoping they will. At the end, she's gonna let Indy finish the deal, because she can't. If she doesn't, then yes, I will agree. This they rate it.
Yeah, gotta see more.
We'll see what happens. Yeah. Overall, I was underwhelmed, if I'm being honest.
To the side.
It was probably slightly better than I expected for some of it.
20 minutes of Elemental helped out.
It did.
I got that.
That was a pleasant surprise, and it liked me more. And I liked Wish more than he did, and I was excited for the whatever that movie, I forget what it's called. The Creator looked.
I like that.
That looked cool. But my God, Kenneth Branagh twisting his mustache in a Conjuring trailer.
That's the biggest L.
The biggest L today.
That's the biggest L. I don't know what the frick is going on with that shit.
What is happening?
Super L there, and I really love the franchise.
Yeah.
I like the whodunit. I like that stuff. Look like my man Ryan Johnson with Knives Out is going to carry the torch into the whodunit moving forward, and not this guy.
That was a bummer. That was a really weird choice. Yeah. I feel like I'm missing something, but I guess we didn't. That was everything. So there you go. There's the Disney panel. We have the Universal panel later today. We'll break it down. I guess Fast and the Furious. Maybe they'll do Mario announcement. It was so big. Maybe they'll tease another one coming.
Fast 10.
And so lots more coming later today, and then Paramount tomorrow. But there you go. Thank you, Steph, for holding the fort down. I know you're going live. There you go. You got it. Any questions or anything from the fans or from you? I can't see chat, and you're muted.
You can't hear.
I know, I did an Elaine moment. Duh. Firstly, quick shout out to Gene Rick. Thank you so much for the $1.99 super chat with the Mr. Green Blob. Just saying, cool. So that's awesome. In terms of questions, Drew Skizzy was like, "You skipped Boogeyman?" Yeah, they did. For good reason. A lot of them did, from what
The whole
Andy
theater
and Jody said.
60% were leaving as it was starting.
They didn't wait for the presentation to finish.
And the reason, honestly, I did it was because like I have so much to do, and they're not letting us talk about it. If I could have talked about it, I might have stuck around. He wouldn't. You don't like that type. I don't either, but I might have stuck around. But I was really offended when they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna shoot this movie, and you can't talk about it till June." I'll wait till the screening in June.
They're basically telling you it's gonna try.
I'm in Vegas. I don't need to see it now. I'll wait till June and see it then.
And I suppose, question for me, where's Lewis? Is he trying to find his balls in Vegas?
Moved the fridge, decided not to watch the Indiana Jones panel. I told him, I said, you better, and I guess he slept in.
He's going to get lunch somewhere.
But we're gonna find him and hopefully see him at Universal.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, you guys get going then. I will be setting up Popcorn Planet that will be starting in half an hour's time. Look at where Andy is. Like, I am proper jealous right now. I was there this time last year. Well, make sure.
Dang it, Jody.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Make sure you guys stay tuned. If you haven't already, subscribe here over on Movie World Plus, because Andy will be doing a couple more live streams before CinemaCon ends, giving you the insight, giving you the tea when it comes to what's coming up in the cinema movie world. Like this stream, comment down below your opinion, conspiracy theories and whatevers. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back later on. But until the next time, you guys, bye later!